Hello everyone in Cyber World. Welcome back to another video. I'm Jennifer, aka Mrs. Poorman.
And I'm Richard, also known as Mr. Poorman.
We've received several requests to ask about how to install the bullnose for the stairways. So for today's video, we will show you how to do that.
As she mentioned, we did this video on the stairs quite some time ago, but recently some people have asked how we did this. Our videos generally aren't a step-by-step how-to. It's more of a we can inspire others to show them that if we can do it, you can do it as well. But since people have asked, we thought, well, look, we can put something together and show them how it was done. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Before we do that though, I have to do a shout out for our friends at the Grant Alexander channel, where we're going to put a link up here for you to see. The reason for this is we made a bet with Grant to see which one of our channels could make it to 500 subscribers first. As soon as we made the bet, after my talking big and opening my big mouth, and we made the bet, as soon as we made the bet, our subscriber count dropped dramatically. And I know it's bad luck to be superstitious. Think about that, it'll come to you. Anyhow, I got superstitious and said, look, I gotta admit defeat, you win. Neither one of us were at 500 at the time, but I immediately said, I admit defeat, and we called off the bet. Since that time, our subscribers count started to go back up. But anyhow, as promised, we're gonna show you the link to his page, and please check it out. Grant has some great stuff on his channel. He makes some things for his son that is just wonderful, instead of having kids play with video games and whatnot. And also he does some things with his wife, Abby. They have some really fun videos, so go check them out. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what we did on the instructions. Before we can provide instructions on what we did, I had to build a mock setup while Mrs. Poorman encouraged me to work faster. We have some spare parts that we had for the bullnose, so we're going to do a little mock-up using our workbench as if it's a step, and we'll explain exactly how we did this. So in this example, what we're going to show you, we're using this as if this is the riser to the step, and this is the flooring on the top of the step. Of course, you could put the flooring on both there and on the top. We chose to give it a little bit of a different look because when we did it on both, it all blended together too much. And so, like I said, we opted with a white riser on here. Now, here's the thing. With the bullnose that we purchased that came along with the flooring, it came with some extra parts here. The instructions show that this is supposed to be placed in front of the last piece of the flooring, and eventually the bullnose with these grooves will snap into this. This railing itself is actually screwed into the stairs itself so that it doesn't move, and that in turn keeps this in place. Now, the problem is this rail, when it came, it was about 8 or 10 feet long when we ordered it, and so when it first arrived, we had to go pick it up at the store, and it was bent in half. The box was bent, and so even without opening it, they said, yeah, it looks like it's probably broken, and we had to have them reorder it. and it came back again. And because it's so long and it's aluminum, it's kind of flimsy. And when we got the second one, it was fine. But what you notice is that because this is aluminum, it bends. And some of the rails pinch in places, some of it spread out. So the problem is, for us, is when you put it on here and you try and line it up to snap it in, some of the railing is pinched in too far, and I had to spend so much time trying to pull it out and make it straight. And I found that even without this being on the stair and trying, it is tough to get to snap on right here. And so because this is so difficult, I couldn't imagine trying to get this lined up perfectly here so that it would all snap in place. And then I started thinking, well, why do I need this in the first place? And I understand the idea is so that this will hold the bullnose in place. What we did when we installed the steps is we used an adhesive on the back of this. We placed it down, and so the flooring is not going to move. All right, it is solid in place because it's just a small stair. It's not as though it's a whole floor where you have to worry about expanding wood and so forth. So we decided just to use adhesive and just keep it on a permanent basis. So then I started thinking, well, why use this with all the trouble that it was going to cause? And we decided, you know what? If I move this closer up, it has enough of a ledge that this would just fit right on top of it. And instead of using the rail, all I did was use the adhesive on the back of this and glued it on. Obviously, that is not what the manufacturer recommends, and you're more than welcome to follow their instructions. It's a great product, it really is. It's really clever that you can do this and snap it on. And I guess the idea on the snap-on idea is that sometime in the future you could just pop it right off if you so choose to do so. But since our flooring is already permanently stuck to the stair anyways, it didn't make any sense for us to have to use it. So we did it the poor man way. Again, this is not what the manufacturer recommends. We just put adhesive on there, and we measured it so that this was underneath. As you can tell, this bullnose has a groove and a slot that's much thinner than the rest of this. So we just put the flooring underneath there. Okay. And then lined it up to the bottom, glued it, and then it was done. We hope you enjoyed this, and we hope this answered the question for those of you who were asking about the bullnose.
We really hope you enjoyed our video, so please like, comment, or subscribe below.
Well, next week we've got a whole bunch of other projects going on. Not sure which one we're going to use for the video. So until then.
Bye-bye.